Let me tell you, in my opinion, what is the most powerful meditation ever. And by powerful, I mean strategically convenient, because there will be a lot of different opinions on how to get there. But I place this meditation that I call it choiceless awareness, picking it up from the great Krishnamurti. I pick up this meditation because when you analyze many, many different paths, and I've been practicing for over 30 years, and many different teachers of different paths, from Christianism to different kinds of Buddhism to Advaita Vedanta, yoga, Shamanism, a lot of stuff. And if you ask me, what is the turning point in all these paths, they sort of all converge in this point that I'm going to try to express. Of course, if your mind is restless and you're completely distracted, you never meditated, you most likely not going to get this one. And interestingly enough, if you understand it, it doesn't take much to start practicing it. Just maybe for little brief amounts of time, you can practice it, and you create that, you can break the dynamic of your unconscious mind and create a very powerful meditation. Why this meditation is the most powerful? Because it's the only one that you can continuously apply through all your life, through every moment of your day, even when sleeping, but that's a different topic. Because most of the time, many meditations, they have a bit of a range of focus, like you should focus on your breathing, you should focus on this. It's kind of like actively making you choose about where your attention should be, and using that to release certain tension patterns that are creating suffering. And it's very effective, and I am strongly supporter of doing that in the beginning. But it is agreed in close to every path that I know that doesn't per se liberate you. You still could sit, go into this periods where your mind is completely still, and you can still stand up, go through your life, and still notice that your life is not completely liberated. You can still suck and still suffer a lot. So where's the point where you will pass from just someone who meditates and you're calming yourself down, you're trying to fix, and to the point where you're actually surfing the whole thing, and you get into a momentum that your background state is always of peace, always of calm, and then huge transformations are possible. Like you are always on retreat, whatever you do, wherever you are. In order to do that, you need to have a loose concept of what your attention should be doing, and just monitor what it's doing at any given time. As I'm talking to you, it's already maybe listen to the screen, but you may hear a sound, you may feel a sensation. Instead of defining what is the scope of your attention and discarding everything else as a distraction, you just accept everything as your meditation. So wherever your attention goes, that's your meditation object. There's no way of doing this wrong. There's no way of getting distracted. It may look a bit difficult to grasp. That's okay. That's okay, really. But if you've done meditation before and you're already kind of calm and your mind is kind of receptive, try it out if you haven't already. Check on Krishnamurti's choiceless awareness videos. There, he has some. I think he's the one. It's not exclusive to him at all, but I think he's the one who expresses the most brilliantly, in my opinion. Because every path, from vipassana to allowing God, there's the presence of God. There's a lot of ways of talking about this, but I think the way Krishnamurti talks about it is the clearest and cleverest one. Which the idea is that instead of just sitting to meditate and saying, I'm going to focus on my breath, I'm going to focus on that, just let your attention just serve your experience. And wherever your attention goes, it goes to a sensation in your body, okay, you go there. It goes to a thought, okay, you go there. It goes to a sound, okay, you go there. So there is no limitation. There's nothing that is a distraction. You're always free. And only that you can create an continuum in your life that will be profound enough to completely transform your life to a degree that is impossible to imagine. To live fully present, always, no matter what. And it comes a lot of perks with it. Like you start understanding on how not to be trapped by any situation and how to relax into a background of peace all the time, no matter what you're experiencing. It's the ultimate meditation. There are meditations that go a little subtle, more subtle, because you can still discern between the experiencing, the experiencer, the attention, the awareness. You can go very subtle. Certain paths have all these concepts like emptiness in Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, for example. If you try to understand each of them, it seems kind of complicated at first, but it start making a lot of sense if you're tapping it from the practice. Suddenly you say, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I know what it means. I know what Taoism means when it's talking about, for example, not having preferences and not paying attention to use likes or dislikes. It doesn't mean that you become numb or stupid or ignorant or indifferent to life. On the contrary, in the flow of the Tao, it means that you're just leaning back so much, so profound in your aliveness, in your essence of being here and now, that whatever your mind and your body is doing, there is a consistent presence. And if you stay in there long enough and wait for resistance in your mind and in your body, but if you stay in there long enough, at some point something's going to crack and you're going to discover that what your body does and what your mind does is still not deep enough to call it authentically you as the actual dreamer. I'm going to say dreamer in the sense of think of a dream. I think it's one of the best analogies to talk about this. If you're in a dream, everything you see is you. Even the character of the dream that you think you are, even that is part of the dream too. So that's quite what it becomes an evidence for you when you lean back in a consistent way 24/7. By 24/7, I'm also talking about deep sleep. I know it sounds a bit crazy in the beginning to consider this, but it is possible for you to do it. But you need to understand what I'm telling you. You need at least someone like me to suggest it to you. Keep that seed in your mind and look for opportunities to practice it. And of course, let me know if you have any problem with all this. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm doing all these videos to help others. So write down in the commentaries if you have a specific question or problem with the practice. But if not, I hope that was at least interesting. If it's information you already know, well, maybe help you see it a bit from a different angle and put it all together in a different way. We are all in the same path. We are all the same.